Hey, Nikki.
Welcome.
So good to have you back again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you'll have to excuse me. I'm just a little parched.
Yes, our new warm-ups are quite invigorating.
I like it. Sweaty balls. So, girl,
Yes.
here we are again.
We're here again. This is so much fun.
I know. I'm really excited.
Me too.
I have been having a blast.
It's so much fun. Yes, that's all I have to say as well.
I mean, we've had some great guests.
Yeah.
But I swear, when I do the show with you, we just we die. We crack up.
Absolutely. It's just like going to the playground.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So how was your week?
It was good. It was a really good week. Things have been busy, which I love.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you?
Pretty good.
But
well, you know, Mike had a little bit of a surgery.
yeah.
And men are really weird when they have, like, you know, I've been cut open.
Yeah.
Had a baby.
Yeah.
Was walking the same day. Had my C-section. I was in pain, but I was walking. And I don't know, men just turn, I hope he doesn't hear this, but they turn into 4-year-olds.
They're little babies. It's like they get a sneeze.
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, he did have a surgery.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. It you know, it
Yeah.
was a sinus, like they stick this
Oh.
balloon up your nose, and he was out for like 45 minutes. But he woke up in, I guess, in a lot of pain. And
Yeah, and it's
been,
right there on your face too, so it probably is intense. You can't not think about it.
yeah. Well, sometimes I tell you, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how I do it, to be honest. Like, I feel like women sometimes get like screwed because I'm trying to build a business.
Yeah.
I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I'm a pet owner. I'm a wife.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, between letting the dogs out, feeding them, working on the show, it's just like sometimes I feel like,
It's like you're everybody.
yeah, and men get to go to work 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and then come home and they're done.
And they're done. It was funny. I was doing a crossword puzzle the other day because I'm a geek, and one of the things was like the ultimate home, basically something or whatever, and the answer was super mom. And it's like that was the answer on New York Times crossword puzzle was super mom, because they even recognize that like the person that juggles all of the balls is the mom of the home. But I mean, that's true, but do you feel that that's changing at all, or are you're expected to do all of that plus then your own creative endeavors?
No, I still think that women that stay at home, that don't have like a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
even when you're building your own career, like, you know, I don't have like a corporate job. I used to, but I
Right.
don't have a corporate job, but I'm still working every day on the show. And I
hustling.
pretty much work on the show from the moment I wake up,
Yeah.
you know, because social media is an animal on its
It
own.
is.
And then till like sometimes I'm laying in bed at 12 o'clock at night, still like working.
And probably also thinking about it all day long too. It's like, even if you have the post up, it's like, well, then I got the next one. It's like, I know for Mike's surgery, you were like, I'm taking a few days, quote unquote, off.
Yeah.
And that was like, you had to do so much work to take that time off to take care of somebody else so that you could come back and then continue on
Yeah.
with your around the clock.
Well, and then, you know, being dyslexic, we talked about this a little bit, you know, I will post something and then I'll be like, fuck, I spell checked it. I had a proofreader. And, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes when we talked about it,
Yeah.
my tweets are, I'm dyslexic.
I gave
own
Elizabeth a
it.
loving note. I was like, sometimes your tweets are spelled wrong. Because I'm such like an anal person.
You're a stickler
on
for that, right?
I am a stickler for that. And I was like, just so you know. And like, of course, spell check wouldn't check it because it's a right word. It's just sometimes in context.
It's
you
not
know,
right.
it's
Well,
not
I
right.
even have grammar. I have
Yeah.
Aiden and I have Mike, and
Yeah.
I think they just check out. So it's like, then
Okay,
I'm like, fuck, should I take it down? And I'm like, I'm owning it. I'm dyslexic.
That's it. You're owning it. Who cares? It can just be like, you could even have like a disclaimer at the bottom, like all tweets are from dyslexic universe.
I bet you all the
Sent from my
dyslexics get it.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Or also people who don't care, and there's also auto everything nowadays. So it's like,
I still can't, like, I have auto everything.
Yeah.
And still.
Yeah.
I need you. That's what I need. I
Yes.
need to go, hey, Nicola, look at this.
you'll have
Tell
auto
me.
Nicola.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially because you are like Miss Precise.
I am. I'm detail oriented.
Yeah, you
Yes.
are. So I want to talk a little bit about, like, Nicola, I know so much about you, but
Yeah.
I never even know, like, how did you come to Los Angeles? Remember we talked a while back on
Yeah.
the show that we need to kind of talk about, like, how we got here. I'm sure we have.
The LA story.
Well, I'm sure everybody has a freaking crazy ass story of how
I
they
feel
got
like
here.
they do some way, because I do feel like it calls certain people, but also how it calls and why it calls, I think, is so interesting. And some come and stay and some get out of here. But I still think the
Some get
fact that
chewed
people,
up.
yeah, chewed up, spit out. But also probably find their person or find the job or find that home was where they belonged anyway,
Yeah. And, everybody comes out here too. Like, I thought, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be like working with Eva Longoria and I'm going to be her older sister.
Yes.
And I just had all these visions of what I was going to be doing. And then you come out here and you're like, okay, well, I need a waitressing job, a hostess job. And then I'll go out on auditions. I got class. I got headshots. It's like a laundry list of
everything.
money going out.
And
Right?
the waitering job is harder to get than the acting job sometimes. But you need the waiter, like for real. Like I remember when I went to get waitressing jobs in the beginning, I was just turning in resumes and like I'm a solid, like I was a computer programmer professional. Like I got shit down and I know how to be a very professional person. And then I saw people were turning in resumes with pictures on them and I'm like like, so they were having headshots on their waitressing resumes and I was like, that's so brilliant. And so I started putting my picture on my waitressing resume. And I had 4 resumes. I had like a business one, I had a waitressing one, I had an acting one, I had like a producer one. It's so interesting, all the different hats you sort of have to wear, especially right when you first come in and know nothing.
Well, and then you get kind of jaded because I've put ads out on like Craigslist
Yeah.
or whatever, trade magazines, looking for this or that or editor, this and that. Before I had Tiffany,
Yes.
I was putting out stuff for editors, and they were sending me, and I'm like, send me a reel, and they would send me headshots, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're an automatic no.
Yeah.
Because also, why do you have a headshot? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
As an editor, we don't need that.
No, so it's kind of crazy.
That's really funny.
So what brought you out here?
So it's so interesting. I was a computer consultant. I graduated with 2 degrees, one in finance and one in computers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad said I had to get a marketable skill. So I was like, screw you, I'm going to get 2. So Overachiever. I know. Yeah. So I did that and it was with Anderson Consulting at the time, which turned into Accenture. So it was this huge company that was just amazing and had worldwide offices. And I was staffed the entire time. I worked for them for a year and a half. And the economy was not doing well, but I was staffed at really amazing jobs and I was being groomed to be. This is when e-commerce was first starting, B2B businesses were just starting to be created. And I was in content management. So basically literally making the systems talk to each other. So one person basically editing. I was kind of doing the auto Nicola in a way because it's like to make content from 2 different platforms talk to each other was basically what I was helping to do. And they didn't have a lot of females.
Beauty and brains, Nicola.
Thank you. But they didn't have women in that field. And so I was being super groomed by this team and was succeeding and doing great. And it was such a cushy job. I had like a corporate apartment in Houston when I worked there for 9 months and a corporate apartment in Tulsa. So it's like I was being flown in and out every week. I had my own car. It was amazing. And it was so much fun in the business world, which was not the world. My soul was like sort of slowly dying. And so as the economy wasn't doing very well, Accenture sort of knows that their people like to travel or have children or go back to school or do things. So they offered this program, this furlough program of like 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months that they were offering to a very, very, very tiny select group of people to sort of let go of some of their staff, keep them on the payroll for like 10% of their salary, but not have this big weight of some people that they didn't necessarily have staffed at that time. So I don't know how I qualified because I was staffed. I was making them so much money. I was literally at the cutting edge of the field in that regard.
Oh my God.
Somehow I qualified.
Well, that's why you can rock a spreadsheet.
Oh, I love
She has a
spreadsheets.
love affair.
Oh, and
Spreadsheets.
PowerPoint, but spreadsheets, Excel is my lady.
She's my bitch.
I love her so much. I love it's. Oh my gosh! I'm like anytime. I'm like we could make a spreadsheet out of that. I'm like, it's like Nikki, just go get some milk.
But sorry, I just had to say that.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's so funny. So anyway, so I always knew I wanted to act, like even though I didn't in college because I kind of wasn't allowed to.
Right.
And, you know, I sort of did lightly in high school. And as a kid growing up, I always wanted to act and I always wanted to live in LA. And my sister lived here for like a couple years and I had come to visit her and I don't know, there was just something calling me about it. And I will say there's no way I could have gone had it not been these exact events because my mom had just passed away the year before, and my dad and needing his daughter sort of around him,
Right, that support.
exactly, and he's very business oriented, and so I remember planting the seed, and I was like, well, I kind of got this program, and they're offering me 12 months to be furloughed, and he's like, well, I don't see how you can say no. And like, because I got his permission, because my mom wasn't around, to be honest to you, I'm not sure I would have left Texas had mom still been alive. And because I was still getting my salary and I had saved a shit ton of money because I was living at home because I had corporate apartments during the week.
Right.
That it was like the perfect storm. It really was like the universe conspiring because we had one of those elements not been there, I wouldn't have come. And so I was like, I'm coming for the year. And I had this roommate that I was sort of set up with, which was less than ideal.
We all, yeah. I think that other than Tiffany lucking out, I think moving out here, that comes with the territory. You're going to get some crazy ass roomie.
And at least she was sort of a friend of a friend, but it was tough. So we lived together for that year, and then it was literally like I think I was supposed to go back to work the next day or something. Like a year came and went, and I was like, well, shit, I think I'm supposed to be back in Dallas. And I checked my voicemail because that's what we had at the time. And I was in acting class and I was like, I think I should maybe call. And I had a message just like, hi, Nicola, this is blah, blah, blah from Accenture.
Where are you?
Exactly. We're waiting for you in conference room A. They were like, we would love to have you back, because legally I'm sure they had to say that. We would love to have you back, but the economy hasn't turned around the way we wanted it to.
Oh, perfect.
So you're welcome to come back, or we'll offer you a 3 months severance package, or 3 weeks maybe, because I was only there for. Anyway, I got paid to get out of town, and I got paid to stay out of town.
Oh my God.
And it's the only way, and so I was just like, well, I guess I'm here now.
That's
and
freaking amazing.
that was almost 20 years ago.
So everything was aligned. Could you imagine yourself living in Texas now?
I would be a completely different person. Like, I am vegan now. I was a major meat eater. I was very Catholic,
Wow.
very Republican, very judgmental. I was the complete antithesis of what I am now.
I know. That's like completely different
Yeah.
than of who you are right
Yeah.
now.
Isn't that crazy? So
Yeah.
thank you, LA. I'm not kidding. I thank LA
got
every
woke.
day. I got woke and like so happy. Like my soul just feels good. You know, it's like even if nothing ever quote unquote happens, which of course everything happens. We just don't know what it is. But you know.
Did you ever feel like you didn't fit in?
I don't think I was aware enough to know that. I had
Okay.
no self-awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. How old were you when you came here?
Mine was on a whim. Crazy shit. Like, okay, first of all, I was doing these big fashion shows. I produced these big fashion shows in Florida at like Prince's Club. I was on the news. My shows became famous. There were these fashion shows.
How old were you?
That I did. I was like 17, 18. And I was producing, creating, directing these huge shows. I also worked for Miss Miami, which I helped produce the show, So, but I always felt like I've lived everywhere. I've lived in Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Puerto Rico, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Miami. Like I've lived everywhere. But I never felt like I completely fit in.
Yeah.
And so one day, so my shows got really famous, and then the store, because it was for a clothing store, the store ended up, closing, and I moved to the beach, and I started working on South Beach as a bartender.
Oh my gosh.
And that one night I was at work, and my ex-boyfriend came in, and he's like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my friend Dee Dee. She's going to LA. She's a singer. She's had this beautiful, like, raspy rocker chick."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to LA. You want to drive with me?" And I'm like, "Dude, no, I don't even know her." And I didn't even think of going to LA. So that night, some girl came in that worked with me, and she was crying, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, I fought with Fernando, and we can't live anymore. Broke up. I have nowhere to go." And I was like, "Do you want to sublease my apartment? I think I'm going to drive to LA tomorrow."
What?
Yes,
That same night.
that same night.
And are you still around 17 at the time?
I was
18?
no. By this point, I think I was like around 20.
Oh my.
So little did I didn't know this girl, and I'm, like pretty much badgering this guy, my ex, like, "Dude, you're such an idiot. Like, why would I go to, And then that night I was like bipolar, and I'm like, what? Actually, let me try it out. So I call the girl up, and I'm like, "Hey, if you still want like a driving partner, I'm like, I'm totally down." And she's like, "Okay." She shows up at my house. The girl from the bar ends up moving in, subleasing my apartment. She shows up at my house in a 1976 Toyota Corolla with a hole in the radiator and cases of oil. She's like, "Oh, by the way, we're going to have to put oil in the car."
Like every 5 minutes.
Every 5 hours. And I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "We're leaving tomorrow."
Where do you pack your stuff if you got so much oil in the car?
It's in the trunk. So...
And what time of year is this, by the way? Is it going to be a hot drive in the oil?
I don't even remember. No.
Okay.
Well, it's always hot in Florida. So,
That's true.
Yeah, and humid. But she ends up spending the night so we could leave early in the morning. And she leaves all her music equipment in the car. So they smash the window to get her music equipment. We still drive like that. So we have a hole in the radiator, a smashed window that we end up, using a garbage bag to...
to cover up. But you mentioned last time you didn't have your ID. So was it in the car when they stole it?
No.
Okay.
So we start driving. I never knew this girl. We start driving.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I cut to your.
We start driving. Halfway, Texas took us, like I told you that story where I got
Texas.
this guy arrested because I didn't have ID. But, but before that, what happened was we've been driving. We're kind of like have no money. So she starts, so we didn't sleep anywhere. So this is like day 3 or whatever of driving cross country.
So you're in your car, or you're constantly driving, or are you stopping and resting?
In the car.
In the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she starts flipping out that she's got a cockroach running up her leg. And it's like 3:00 in the morning, and we're like somewhere in Phoenix. And I'm like, "What do you mean you have a cockroach?" And she's like, "Yeah, I just know it." And I'm like, "Girl, you haven't slept." She's like, "No." And like, I didn't really know her.
Oh,
so
fart.
we pull over. She takes everything out of the car, looking for the cockroach. No cockroach is to be found. We put everything back. I'm like, "Are you sure you put everything back?" "Oh yeah, I put everything back. Don't worry about it." We drive. 20 minutes later, I used to be a smoker. I'm like, "I want a cigarette. I can't find my purse." And I'm like, "Did you take the purses off the roof of the car?" She's like, "Oh, yeah." And so we start looking, couldn't find the purses. She backs up on the freeway at 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, "You're gonna gas, pull the fucking car over." I have a complete meltdown. We pull over, we're fighting. I'm thinking I'm about to rip her hair out because I didn't even know her. I was freaking out.
Because
Like,
that's your whole life in there.
your whole life. Like, my purse.
Especially when you want a cigarette, too. You were like angry and scared.
Tired, angry. I had my cigarettes in there. No money, no ID at this point. Because the money that I had.
Too? Okay.
Both of our purses.
Okay, good. At least she had to go
so
down.
we start fighting, and I felt like I was about to brawl. And then there's a coyote, like,
oh my God,
looking at us, like salivating.
I bet.
And we both look at each other, and we're like, ah! We get in the car. We drove cross country when we got to state line.
So you just left, but you didn't go back for the purses, or you?
Who's gonna find a purse at 3:00 in the morning in the middle of a desert in Phoenix?
Oh my gosh!
So we ended up pulling into LA, not LA, California state line. And the guy was like, we don't have any money. We don't have any ID. You know, we put our little shorty shorts on because we needed gas. We had no money for gas. Like, how are we going to get from the state line to the city? So we're like, we'll sell you a case of oil. And the guy just looked at us and he's like, welcome to California. Just fill up your tank. We finally get to our destination.
Wow.
Don't know the guy I'm rooming with. Don't know anything about him.
Are the two of y'all are rooming with this guy, or
this
just
one
you?
guy
Okay.
that was a friend of hers?
Okay.
I pull everything out of the car the day we get back. She leaves everything in the car, and I'm like, fuck that. After what happened, I pull everything
Especially
out
with
of
the
car.
window being broke.
The car got stolen the next night after we got out of here. We didn't even have the car for one day.
Oh my gosh, that car was literally just the vehicle to get you out to California.
Yeah, I never left. I got a job the next day.
I bet you did.
The next day, I didn't know was an alcoholic, so she would get drunk all day long, and then come nighttime, she would run up to the roof and say she was going to jump off. I just remember one night I went up there and I'm like, God damn it, jump! Just jump! Fucking jump! No! And my roommate, which I barely knew, he just looked at me. And he was like, why are you telling her that? I go, because I'm not dealing with this shit She wasn't going to jump. It was just like an attention thing.
Yeah.
She never did it again. And then me and this guy became best friends. We ended up kicking her out.
Oh my! Do you know what happened to her?
No. I have no idea.
The mystery of Dee Dee.
The mystery of Dee Dee. She got me out here. She served her purpose.
She was your total purpose.
But it's funny because I called my two best friends the day I was leaving, Tiffany's mom and then my girlfriend Sandra. And I was like, hey, I'm going to LA tomorrow. And they're like, okay, girl, have a great time. And then back then there wasn't any cell phones.
Yeah.
So they end up calling each other like, I've been calling her all morning. Why isn't she answering the phone? They're like, you think she really left? No, she that crazy.
They didn't believe you.
They didn't believe me. So I call them from Texas and they're like, bitch, you really left? And I'm like, I told you. They're like, we didn't believe you. This was like overnight like that. I just was like,
That's insane.
that
How
crazy?
did you end up, like, I know you got the job, but how do you do that without all of the IDs and money and all of that stuff?
Well, as soon as I got here, I had to like work on all of that.
That's
you know,
insane.
it was insane.
You are a hustler, my
Girl.
friend.
Girl. Yeah, but I got like my first job was selling stickers for the police.
Oh, that's right, down in your dungeon.
Yeah, down in my
the basement.
dungeon.
What complete opposite stories we have. Like, I was literally like
Hello?
first class flown out, and you were like in the cargo van of like a Mexican with like chickens and things, basically. Oh my God. But either way, I don't think isn't that so interesting?
And we almost got arrested like twice. One when the guy bought us a beer, and the second time is we pulled over. Some big ass trucker pulled over because our car was overheating.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you girls want to come in the truck?" We're like, "Hell yeah!" You know, we get in the truck.
That sounds safe.
We get in the truck.
I am surprised you're still alive today.
Me too.
Some of these stories, I'm just
Okay,
like,
let me tell you.
wow.
I tell that to Mike. I'm like, I have a higher purpose in this because I
Yeah.
can't believe my younger years.
Yeah.
Like I was crazy. Well, the trucker, we were in the truck with this
Yep.
guy, like a huge semi, and his, we're cooling off. He brings
bet
out a
you are.
cigar box full of drugs like pills, weed, cocaine, probably heroin. There was
That's
some
where the
rocks.
cockroach
I
came
know.
from, by the way.
Well, he's like, you girls want to get high. And we're like, no, that's okay. He gives us a Coca-Cola to get back in our car. We were driving 20 minutes and the cop pulls us over and he's like, what were you guys doing in that truck?
Thank fuck you didn't get anything.
That's what I thought, because old me would have gone, I'll take that and
Yeah,
that.
3 of these and 2 of these.
What are the red ones?
Oh my gosh. And especially before cell phones, like if anything happened, you would have just been trapped in a van on the side of the road.
Down by the river.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, girl. I think about that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great story.
Let me tell you, I could write a book about that. There's
You
so much
should.
more. It's just
We're just tipping the
insanity.
iceberg.
Insanity. But I have survived so many things.
Yeah.
Like one day we'll talk about things that we've survived.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's been I tell them, like, man, I have a little angel. I'm so
Little. You got a monster angel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
very
got a
different
team.
now.
Yeah.
I was just hell on wheels. Nothing scared
amazing,
me.
though.
Everything was like, bring it.
Invincible.
Bring it.
Let's go, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you
think
still got that good attitude though, but in a safer way. But you still are like, it's not me against the world, but it's like it's me, and I love that about you.
Well, I think it's different now because back then it was all based on anger. Like I
Yeah.
was fed by anger. So I was like, bring it.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Fuck, watch.
Exactly.
Now it's like, you can't do that. Yes,
Fuck.
I can.
Watch.
Yeah. I don't need to prove anything to you.
No.
Yeah. Well,
just
before it was
wait.
like, prove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get that.
So,
My
oh
God,
my
I love
God.
that.
I love that our stories are so contrast.
So contrast, and yet there's no other way mine could have happened. I would have never been able to, in many ways. And it's interesting too, because even though mine seemed so lovingly cushy along the way, I was still completely terrified. And I remember,
Of course.
and I still look back on it, and I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? How did I who was that person to just pack stuff in a car and drive, not knowing anything, no reason why? There's still things that I look back on and I'm like, would I do it again if it was me now? And I'm not sure that I would.
I think when you're in your 20s, you would.
Yeah.
I think there's something that I miss about being in my 20s,
Yeah.
which is that limitless fear.
Totally.
And you're not faced with mortality. You don't even think about that. You are pretty much think you're super, like nothing's going to happen to you.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I love this. I love that we're getting to know more about each other.
This is so fun. That was such a good story.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yep.
So, I want to talk about something that happened last week.
Okay.
I want to talk about pet peeves.
Okay. God, there's so many pet peeves in the world.
I have a laundry list of pet peeves.
Yeah.
But last week, I went to a spa. And there was a lady there hacking her fucking brains out.
Man.
Literally. And she's like opening a CVS. And I'm in a nice, I am at the Biltmore, at a really nice spa.
Yeah.
And she's opening this CVS bag with pharmaceuticals. And she's like, I'm so sick. And she's on the phone. I'm so sick. I'm dying. I don't know. I called the doctor. And I'm like, okay, bitch, I'm about to get into all these treatment rooms, because I just went for the day. I wanted to do all the treatments and stuff like that. She was hacking, so I went up to the manager, and
Was she just in the dressing room? Where was she?
No, she was about to get a treatment.
Okay.
So, and then she was going to go in the steam room. Of course, that's going to
it's just going to gestate it in there. Yeah.
So...
So you go to the manager.
I went up to the manager and I was like, excuse me, this lady's hacking. She's got a fever. She needs to go. And she was like, oh no, well, we can't ask her to leave. And I'm like, why not? I go, she has a virus. She's spreading it. Then I find out that the lady that's going to give her the treatment has a low immune system. So she didn't want to even give her the treatment. There was all this talk in the spa room and I'm in the middle of it. Can you believe it? Oh my God. So I tweeted
Good.
To the Biltmore. I think it was the Biltmore. Was it the Biltmore or was it the
Let's get this right.
Yeah. I have to look. I was like, this is ridiculous. And so they said, oh yeah, we want your experience to be amazing. Who was the manager? And then I didn't get anything, but that's a pet peeve. If you're sick, stay home.
I agree with that, especially at work environments. I work in a work environment that's a very small office, and there are certain people that come and they're coughing, and it's a community refrigerator handle and it's a like community water handle. And like every time I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And like door handles and all of that stuff. And I'm just like, it's one day you're taking off. Like, do not spread this stuff around. There is something crazy about that.
Yeah, or even like in the service industry.
Yeah.
You know, you get a massage, this lady was like hacking, she's all snotty, and I'm like, I don't want you touching me. I mean, I know that sounds kind of rude, but
it doesn't, because also like that one woman could have passed it to the low immune system that then passes it to like 10 clients that she has the next day.
Well, hence the coronavirus right now.
The coronavirus starting at the Biltmore store. Susie was the manager on duty.
Patient 0.
We found her. She went to CVS. Yeah, I think there is something. I totally agree with that.
Oh my God.
That is insane. Especially because you're going to pay a couple $100 to then be sick
exposed
for a couple
to
of days.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. That is
oh my
crazy.
God. Yeah.
My pet peeves, I have there's one, okay, wait. I wrote some down because, so I feel like as I was thinking about them, I think my main, because I also feel like,
I know you're going to have a good one.
well, they're all sort of based around people being inconsiderate, I think.
Okay.
I think that's sort of the thing. So I think this falls under that too.
Yeah.
But my one kind of really big pet peeve is people on phones all the time, or like especially like if I'm driving and someone's just like sitting next to me texting or something. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not your fucking Uber driver. You know, it's like I should
talk to me.
And like people, when you're out, like getting a drink with a friend or going to dinner, people who have their phones out and they're like dinging all over the place or like talking, or but like, even if it's just like, you know, and I get like when we're on business meetings and that happens, we're on a business meeting, it's different, but people who can't detach from their phone.
Yeah.
And then even then it's like posting pictures and posting. It's like, why don't we just stay in this like moment and have this moment versus needing to post about the moment or start another side moment, you know?
Like say hi to me first before you want to take a picture of us in the restaurant.
Exactly. Post. It's just so you can sort of show somebody where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like phones have really, like, I love them and I think they're great, but I literally have my phone on mute all day long. I have no sound on because I just don't want to be tethered to it, you know?
Right.
And I find a lot of
that's a
freedom,
good habit to be in.
Yeah, but I think phones is sort of a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I you know me, one of my pet peeves is people on a freaking speakerphone at the store behind me in line, and they're like, yeah, so John told me that he was going to go, and I'm like, I don't care.
It's crazy.
Get it off speakerphone, lady. Or my favorite, speakerphone, and then they're like this.
It's like people who FaceTime like that. It's like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
That is funny because it's like we don't need to hear everybody. Like put an earbud in or get off the phone or speaker in your car.
Oh,
yeah.
God. So what about, see if you can figure this one
Okay.
out. Which one's like, Elizabeth is really thirsty right now. Like third, when you refer to yourself in
the
third person.
Nikki feels that Elizabeth might be a little tired this morning.
Elizabeth is.
Do people do that a lot around you?
Oh, hello. No, that not a lot, but that's like, I don't like what it just annoys the shit out of me. Did you ever see that Seinfeld episode? Jimmy don't like that. And he lays at the gym. And she's like checking out some guy at the corner.
Oh,
and
yes.
She thinks, and so the guy's like, hey, Jimmy likes you. And she's thinking he's talking about that guy over there. And it ends up being
so brilliant.
Oh, Jimmy don't like that. I was like, oh, I hate that third person. Who does that?
I hope nobody. I really hope nobody.
You know who used to do that is my friend Yvonne.
Yvonne still does that?
She'd be like, Yvonne doesn't appreciate when people, and I'm like, girl, it's you.
Girl
like,
right here. I feel like we should always just only use people's names. Like instead of saying him or her, it's like, it should be like, so Elizabeth, does Elizabeth like to do? Like we should just have a whole day where we take out all pronouns and we only use the name over and over again. And
Elizabeth
see if people,
likes this idea.
Yeah, including ourselves. I think that would be amazing. That's so funny. One of mine too is when people say they're dog people. Like that fucking pisses me off so much, especially because when they say it, they're meaning they're not cat people.
Right.
And like, I'm like, people are just like, oh, I'm a dog person. I'm like, we're all fucking dog people. Everybody loves dogs. Like, it's like I'm saying like, oh, I'm a clothes person.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a car person. I like to drive. It's like, that's fine. But like, to me, it's saying it sort of at the exclusion of like, I like cats. I wouldn't say I'm a cat person. I am a cat person, but I'm also a dog person. Like, I'm an animal person.
Right.
So it just drives me nuts when people are like, I'm a dog person. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
Especially when you're a cat person.
Especially when you are a cat person. But I will say, because I have found that all cat people, they love cats, but they also like dogs.
Right.
But I have found that dog people don't necessarily like cats.
It's so true.
And I love a man that loves a cat. Like if I'm online on dating or anything like that, and I see a guy that likes a cat, or I'm like, front of the line.
You had me at cat.
You had me at cat, because there's something like sensitive about it, and to like understand the cat's like quirks. There's such a special, specific animal that to me it shows you're a special kind of guy. I think at least. I'm a clothes person. Makes me purr. It's so funny. Yeah. I would love to bring another segment back if that's possible.
Yes. What is it?
I would love to do another segment of Nic At Nine. Nic At Nine.
I'm already getting hot. Woo, okay.
I have been still
I love
kind.
That segment. Okay.
But yeah, we'll just speed
Is this
speed
getting
through 'em.
spicier?
It's not not super spicy. There's
Okay.
only one little spicy thing I
Okay.
feel.
All right.
And you can spice it as you would like.
Let's spice it. All
Okay.
right.
So this
Wait, I'm like flashing. I'm sorry.
See? I didn't even need to do anything.
Nic At Nine.
Nic At Nine. With Elizabeth's left boob. Starring. Okay. I'm just going to be talking directly to you.
Yeah. Romy and Michele.
All right, this one's for Romy. Are they really named that?
They are now.
That was good. I like it. Okay, so the theme to this one is favorites.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so what is your absolute favorite thing to eat?
Let's see. Cuban food.
All Cuban food.
Pretty much. Like, really pastelitos.
Okay, what's that?
My all-time favorite thing is croqueta, which is like this breaded, delicious deep fried deliciousness that has like either chicken or cheese, or they make all different types, ham or whatever. But croqueta.
That sounds amazing.
It is the best.
What do you like to drink with your food? That food?
A café con leche, which is coffee and milk. Yeah.
Is it hot or cold?
It's hot and it's like really strong.
I love that.
And so, yeah, it kind of marries each other. They go together.
Yes. A little Cuban wedding in your mouth. Okay.
Hey,
what is your favorite thing to do on vacation?
nothing.
Nothing.
I love to just sit either on the ocean or by the pool and just call room service. Like if it were up to me, I wouldn't even go see the sights. I like to go eat. I know it sounds like I'm like the nightmare person to go on vacation with. If you're like my cousin who can't sit, she's got to be on tour at 7:00 in the morning going to see I'm the total opposite. She's like, well, you can be in a hotel anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I still go and I go see, but I'm not booking 7 a.m. tours to go.
No, you do that in your regular life.
Yeah. I just want to sit by the pool and drink.
And be taken care of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
That's
agree.
my favorite thing.
Agreed. What is your go-to song, your favorite song that you either play or sing when you're angry?
Crazy Bitch
Ooh.
by Black Cherry.
I love that. Do you sing it or you play it?
I sing it really loud. And I don't even know why, because it's about sex. So the song,
Yeah.
you know, but they're just like the
primal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck,
Good.
crazy bitch.
Isn't that fun how songs do
Yeah.
that? So good. Okay. What is your favorite sexual position?
Ooh. I have so many.
Or what's the thing that makes you feel sexiest? You could do either.
I think my favorite. Okay, so I love like a really cute, sexy outfit.
Yeah.
Like I really love that.
On
like,
mic.
No,
I don't love that.
baby, will you wear my panties?
Baby. Kim, this all brings out your eyes.
I'm like totally like, oh my god, I could not. No, I like little. I like to. I know this sounds. I like little schoolgirl outfits.
I love that.
Like yeah.
Do you do role play with it, or you just like to wear them? We're gonna plead the fifth on that.
Yeah, you know, it
Romy,
depends
what do
on
you
my
think?
Yeah, Romy says yes.
Romy likes the naughty teacher.
Yeah. Romy wants to be spanked. Michele wants to watch.
Michelle's an honor student.
Michelle is the teacher.
Yeah, like your gym teacher back in Vegas.
Oh my god.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Little sexy outfits.
Yeah.
Those are good. What is the favorite way you like to splurge on yourself?
I think a good massage is like I just love like rub me.
Yeah.
I love it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
In my schoolgirl outfit.
Exactly. Men masseuse need only apply.
It's weird. I don't like men masseuse.
I don't either, actually. I don't.
I don't like
It's too rough.
I just don't like to feel that vulnerable.
Yeah. Sometimes I do because I'm like, I haven't had the touch of a man in a while. And I'm not kidding. It's true. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes I'm
Little
like,
higher up, please.
Yeah. A little lower. Yeah. But, you know, you get what you can. I'm not doing that at a Korean spa, though, that's for sure. Or the Biltmore, apparently. What is your favorite thing to do when you're sad?
I think just cry.
Mm-hmm.
I think I either cry or isolate.
Yeah.
I just want to be alone.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lick my wounds.
Lick them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite day or memory?
I think my favorite, I have two. And one of my favorite memories was my wedding.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. And even though it was at a, you know, beautiful kind of posh, could have been very stuffy. We partied our asses off. It was at,
I wish I could have been at that
oh
party.
my God. It was, amazing.
Yeah. It was at like
Amazing.
one of the fancy hotels here in LA.
Yeah.
Right?
The one with the swans. God, it's like, I don't know why I can't remember. It's like Oprah's favorite hotel to stay at. It'll come to me, but I had swans and I had like, it was the most beautiful day. And then we were freaking partying our asses off. And like,
I love that.
one of my best friends came in from New York. He literally ripped his pants from the top all the way to the bottom dancing, and his underwear was hanging out. We have so many great pictures, and all we did was dance, party, and smoke weed at this really nice hotel.
That's amazing. What's the second day you said? You said two.
The day Aiden was born.
Yeah. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, those were
I love it.
especial.
Okay. Do you have a favorite joke?
Yeah, but I don't think I could say it.
Okay. Well, what's the favorite thing that always makes you laugh then?
Physical comedy.
Okay. That's good.
Physical comedy.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Amazing.
any kind of people falling down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just physical comedy is my favorite. Makes me laugh.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, finally, last question from Nic at Nine is, what is your favorite thing you do when no one is watching you? No one is around.
Is this a trick question?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, what's my when people aren't
When you're left
watching,
unsupervised, if you will.
watch stupid movies.
Yeah.
I love movies. I kind of like to just lay in bed, cover up,
Snuggle with the
snuggle,
dogs.
have bad food I'm not supposed to eat,
Totally.
and just watch like old comedies.
I love it.
Yeah. These were good, girl. Thank you.
Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you, Romy. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. So anyway, guys, this is it. We want to ask you to follow us on social media. It's Left Unsupervised Podcast, both on YouTube and Instagram. Facebook is also Left Unsupervised. Twitter is Left Unsuperpod.
Boop.
And Nicola?
Yeah. I'm just at Nicola_Graham.
Yeah, so thank you for watching and listening, and see you next week.
Woohoo. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Left Unsupervised. Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Left Unsupervised Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.